my point is, I I'm going back to my first conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Get the people that you want.
That's right.
Don't I think very I think we as a fan base and I would say even when it comes to like evaluating talent, get the people that you want. I'm not so focused on the round that they get drafted in. Like I said, if you're moving up and you're moving down, it's to get the person that you want. You have spent millions of dollars on evaluating talent. So if you put somebody,
Oh.
in the first round that should have, everybody else thinks they're in the third round, I don't really care. Seventh, 17th, 38th. Get the name, the person that you know, think is the most valuable, and then use everything else to manipulate the market. I'm willing to trade down because I think they'll still be there, and that gives me more picks. Not because I don't know who's down there, but I just want picks just so I can have them. Like to me, that doesn't make
But
sense.
but
I
but
don't
who
want
but
20
but
picks.
who I asked just wants picks because they're down there. Who started with that premise
I think
anyway?
I think I'm not saying you did, but I think it's not uncommon for people to say I'm willing to trade back because I want more picks, not because I think there's talent there that and when I say talent, aka value, I think there's value to be gained because I know something about the market that maybe other GMs don't know. A lot of GMs just move down because they are indecisive and they think that they can gain some opportunities in the future. Don't do that.
I,
Get your
I
person.
can slightly agree with that, minutely. But you have to look at the logic of what you just said. You spend millions of dollars to not look at three players. There are 300 collegiate schools, and you look at all of them. And so, if I've identified 13 players out of 300 schools, I've identified 13 players. There's only 13 out of 300, right? So everybody got 80 players on their team. It's 300 schools. That's at least about 24,000 players. I've identified 13. Right now, the Bears have 8 draft picks. Can you get 13 of them? No. But if I trade back, because none of them stand out so much where I have to have you, you are not a need, you are a want, which I think everything right now for the Bears is a want in terms of offense. The Lions are needs. Now, and I'll even preface that right there. I don't believe that the Bears should spend, if they stayed at 10, I do not believe they should draft an offensive lineman if you stay at 10.
Mm-hmm.
I know we have to have replacements. I want those replacements to come anywhere from 2 to round 5. Thus,
Mm-hmm.
my need and my desire for more picks, because offensive linemen and defensive linemen to have 3 extra picks give me 3 extra bodies to potentially discover, to replace the 3 guys that I signed this year because they will age
Mm-hmm.
out. So I want to have people to replace them at some point, and I will have quality level talent because I will have done enough research to think that these second and third round players will give me that. And having multiples gives me, like you said, flexibility to move up and down the room. Like we got 2 picks in the second round right now. You one of them guys when you got 2 picks, so you can go get what you really want, and you can let somebody else come get what they want. So I mean, you got flexibility in that. I don't trade back to acquire unless I'm a team who has 3 draft picks. If you got 3 draft picks, either you better make them real, real good, or you better trade back. But I think that
Okay.
in this particular draft, based on the way Kuiper and everybody else breaks it down, the players that are so coveted that high at 10, because we pick in the top 10, it is too high to draft some of the players that we proverbially want. I don't necessarily like
Okay.
they talk about Tyler Warren. I would blow my lid if you drafted a tight end at 10. Seriously.
So if the running back is Champagne, what is the title?
A cracker, a strawberry, whatever you want. I wish you would draft
Mm.
a tight end at 10. Seriously?
That okay. Okay.
That's
I'm
hubris.
just I'm just
That's the ultimate
I'm just
level of
listening.
hubris to draft these guys right
Okay.
now because one, um, I don't see them just doing enough day
So we
one.
talked about Ben Johnson talked about what EPA, right?
Yeah.
So I think it makes a lot of sense to me, right? Like as a person who deals with data and analytics for a living. Like the idea, like that I'm focused on EPA, and does if that's where your mindset is, and that's your culture, and that's what you're changing your team um, approach towards, then if you're telling me that EPA is his focus, then I can see going with a tight end or going with a running back because both of those can impact EPA.
And, as well as your offensive line.
I didn't say they couldn't,
No,
but I'm saying in addition to.
no, but we can't negate the fact that all of them help at this bottom line that you speak of, because I'm
Right,
sorry,
and they done
I'm
that.
sorry
Right?
to
They
tell.
got 3 players on the offensive line.
No, but those, but one of those players is 32. So you banking on
Yeah,
the
I
fact.
get it.
No. So you banking on
Sure,
the
I
fact that he's
get
gonna
what
be
you're
good
saying.
this year.
Long term, yeah.
No,
Long
we talking
term,
about
that's
this
not
year.
sustainable.
No, but he is 32. That means you got to be totally. I'm optimistic that he'll be good this year. We're not talking about in
Yeah.
3 years. He is 32 right now, so he might be falling off the cliff right now, this year. Like that's a real
Maybe.
scenario. He could lose everything this year, and that means you need his replacement on the roster.
Caleb Williams might not be good.
No, that's not what we're gonna try to play those games right there, because that's talking about a second-year player versus somebody been in the league 14 damn years. The dude that used to talk about being a GOAT, he used to play with him, and he don't play no
Yeah.
more. He a damn owner. We ain't being funny right now.